Hey everybody, it's Chris. What's up? Welcome to episode 2, video blog number 2, whatever it is. I just got finished doing a private workshop with First National Financial. So the way that is working now, so we did like 3 years worth of open webinars where once a month everybody could plug in and get like one marketing campaign for their business. And now what we've done is kind of put it behind a wall and you've got to get invited to it. And what we did today was we talked about Google advertising and how to basically play against the rate game online and actually run effective advertising and then do retargeting. So cool things like Gmail ads and retargeting ads through YouTube so that you've got YouTube ads going and all that good stuff. So anyways, I got a question during the Q&A and I get this question all of the time. So I figured that we could go through it here today. So I'm just wrapping up for the day. I'm getting ready to go home and it's the weekend. So I'm going to spend some time with kids. So I'm getting ready to wrap up at the office, but I figured we could spend some time together. So I've mapped out an actual blueprint so that you can figure out how much to spend on your advertising every month. So, or every day, really, every week, depending on how you want to set this stuff up. So check this out. When you're advertising online, you've got essentially 4 things that you're working with, right? So this is going to be a little bit weird because I got to hold the camera for the whole live thing. But basically, you've got assets, right? And then you've got your forecast, and then you've got your budget. Is that backwards for you when you see that? Hold on, let me check this out. There we go. All right. So there we go. So, you've got a completely washed out video. There you go. So you got assets, your forecast, and your budget. And it's my opinion that you should do this every time you launch a marketing campaign so that you can determine what it is that you're actually going to get from your advertising campaign. So, inside your assets, you've got these 4 things. And the first, these are your ads, right? So, the ads that you're running online, and that gives you your total traffic, right? So how much are you going to spend per click on your advertisement to actually drive your traffic? And then you work your budget out from that, right? Now, when somebody clicks on your advertisement online, they are going to see a landing page. And we're going to call this landing page. Okay? So your landing page is what actually gets people to opt in or give you their information, right? So the landing page is what generates the leads from the actual advertisement. Then once you get somebody as a lead, you need to nurture them, right? So this is the nurture phase of our process, right? And that nurturing is taking people from not really knowing who you are as a lead and turning them into an actual application in your business, right? And then from that nurture process, once you get that person as an application, you need to turn them into a deal, which is the relationship phase, okay? So, now that we have those 4 assets, and we know there's really basically only 4 things that we got to mess around with in order to make these things successful, we can then forecast out how these things are going to work, right? So this is a rough estimation, and this is actually loosely based on some numbers that I put together for a client of ours. So let's take a look and see if we can do it this way, right? So, nope, it's going to be backwards. I guess you're stuck. You're not going to get to see my lovely face while we're going through this. So anyways, we'll hop back and we'll give you the actual content because that's the important part, right? So if you're forecasting out that your traffic is going to cost you $2 per click, right? That means that to drive 1,000 clicks in your business, you're going to spend a cost of $2,000. That's an investment of $2,000. And you can take this up or down depending on what you think this number is going to be, right? So then you say, okay, for every person that I drive to my landing page, what's my conversion ratio going to be? And that's this number right here, okay? So I think that I can get 15% of the people that click on my advertisement to actually come through and become a lead, okay? Well, if I can hit that metric and I can hit that goal of 15%, where is it? Right there, right? If I can actually hit that goal, okay, that means that for those 1,000 clicks, right, we got 1,000 clicks here, we're going to be able to turn that into 150 leads down here. That gives us a cost per lead of $13.33, which is pretty good. I mean, we've got funnels that are doing leads at $7 a piece. We've got some leads that are costing us $25 a piece, right? You don't know whether that's working until you get down to the nurture part. And this is your email sequencing. This is your how you follow up with the lead immediately when it comes into the business, the text messages that you're sending them, the actual building of the relationship with that person to the point where they're actually going to want to work with you, get on the phone with you, come into the office, submit an application, right? So let's say for all of the leads that you generate, you're going to be able to take 10% of those people to an application, right? So 10% of these 150 leads are actually going to turn into applications or a potential to win that deal, right? Well, that means for 15 apps, you're spending $133 per app in your business, right? And at that number, with the amount of profit that we have, that we stand to make in our mortgage businesses, that's a pretty good deal. If you can spend $2 a click, and for every $133 you put into advertising, you've got one person to talk to that's going to submit an application that's potentially going to be a deal, that's a pretty sweet deal. So then you take your metrics in your business, again, as to what you feel you can actually accomplish, and you've set this number right here. And this is your applications to closings, right? If you can close 80% of your apps into deals, you can forecast that for every 15 apps that you take, you're going to close 12 deals, right? Then from here, you can make the most important calculation of the whole thing, which is your return on investment, okay? So for that, all you do is take the amount of profit that you generate from each deal that you do in your business, you times that by 12, right? And then you subtract the $2,000 that you invested into advertising up here at the top. Now, here's the thing about this, okay? Typically speaking, when I speak to a mortgage professional, okay, the average deal size gives them a commission of roughly $2,500. Some marketplaces a lot bigger, some marketplaces a lot smaller, but for $2,500 off one deal, you can forecast out how much you can spend, right? Is that making sense? I hope so. Anyways, so when I get asked the question of how much should I spend on ads, you have to figure all this stuff out. You have to figure out how much am I willing to invest in order to actually create a deal in my business. Then you've got to be able to work your return on investment and say, okay, well, if I make $2,500 on a mortgage deal, right, how much profit do I have to make on that deal in order to make it worth my while? And then work back up the funnel and look at your numbers and say, okay, for every application that I get in my business, right, I'm going to close X amount of deals. Okay, great. So how many applications do I have to put across my business in order to actually hit the income goal for the month? Okay, well, in order to generate that many, if I'm taking 15% of my leads into actual applications, I need to generate this many leads, and then you can forecast out your advertising costs based on what you want to come through the funnel. So it's not, should I spend $5 a day or should I spend $10 a day? It's how much money do you want to make? And then what are your numbers? You have to know the numbers before you run any type of paid traffic, and you got to have a goal, because another mistake that I see a lot of people making is they don't watch the numbers. They've got no metrics in place. We go in to overhaul a paid advertising campaign. They don't even have their pixels placed. They have no idea how many conversions they're generating. And then when you ask them if they're actually closing any business off it, they don't know, because they're not actually tracking the deals that they're closing back to the lead source. And that can cause wasted money, wasted time, wasted effort, and I don't want any of that for you. So it was a phenomenal question that came through on the Q&A during the webinar, and I felt it needed a little bit more of an explanation. So obviously, I'm going to be doing a lot more of this Facebook Live stuff. I hope that you really enjoyed it. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button somewhere along here so that you get notified when we publish them out. Pretty much we're going to be like Monday to Friday, and I'm going to try and produce one for you every single day. I've been challenged by a coach of mine, so we'll see how we do with it. And I'm going to get a proper like tripod or something, because this holding the camera thing is weird for me. Anyways, happy Friday. Hope you all are doing really well. Sebastian, great to see you, man. Hope all is well. And man, connect. We should get on the phone and have a chat. So anyways, with that, happy Friday, and hope everybody's well. Talk to you later.